G'day everybody and welcome back to my channel, Viking Gamer. And in today's adventure we're going to have a closer look at powerboard racing. What is it? How do you do it? Where do you do it? What are the powerboards? Where do you get them? All of the good stuff. Once you acquire a powerboard, you've got to equip it, so you can either have it in your inventory or you can place it in one of the device slots. But if it's in your inventory, you can simply go to view all available abilities, scroll down till you find your powerboard or your floater, and you can do this with all of your different abilities. Unlock the tray, drag and drop the powerboard down into the slot you want it to go into, and remember to relock the tray so you don't accidentally unequip it. Controlling the powerboard is quite simple. W propels you forward. A and D turn you respectively. S does nothing. There's no reverse gear on the powerboard. Spacebar makes you jump. If you go out of the water onto land, your powerboard will disappear. Of course, they're not built for land. Over land, you've got to use your floaters. But as soon as you enter the water, boom, the option to grab the powerboard comes back up. Another way of controlling the powerboard is to press both the left and right mouse button at the same time and move the mouse left to right. This gives you a little extra control, but as you can see, it also moves the camera around. Spacebar still makes you jump. And whatever key you've got bound to walking, for me it's my thumb mouse button. I don't know whether it's mouse button 4 or 5, dependent on your mouse, will slam the brakes on. And you can use that even if you're using the keyboard controls. Now we should have a powerboard race about to begin in 1 minute. There's not a lot of people on the server at the moment, so it might just be me and a couple of other people. There are lots of different powerboards to choose from. We'll have a look at those in a minute, or once this race is completed. You find the powerboards and the powerboard races on the planet of Risia, and this is the promenade area, and just underneath the bridge here is where you will find the start location for the powerboard race. Powerboards are also used in the Biathlon event, where the first half of the race is done with powerboards and the last half of it is done with the floaters, which we will look into in another video. We'll probably cover the Biathlon in this video as well, just for completeness, and I'll just give a very brief overview of the floaters, but I'll look at those in more depth later, as they're connected to quickly doing other tasks around the island. Though in theory you could go around the island using the Powerboard as well. You're just a bit more restricted as to what areas you can get to with it. Just jumping up and down for fun. Click join race. And once you've done that, you can't go through the barriers by accident. So a lot of people will just set up right up hard against the barrier here, so they've got a good starting point. And looks like I might be the only one in the race. Oh well, that will help give you guys a good look at the race course. This is the Romulan themed board.
Racers, on your mark. Get set. Go!
Yep, it looks like I'm the only one in the race, so I can take it nice and easy. So basically go through the checkpoints, over the jumps, sometimes you'll come down so hard you'll lose your board. Try not to let that put you off, just get back on the board and get back in there. If you end up leaving the track, you will get disqualified. So the little speed boosts and the jumps can sometimes accidentally throw you off the track. So be careful how you use them. I don't like to use that jump there because I've sometimes had it throw me off the track.
Grab the flag at the end of the race.
And basically it's whoever's first to grab the flag. Well, excuse me, bit of a bad view there. Grab the flag. And yep, that disappeared quickly, so there was no one else in the race. So we've basically got some feathered monkey tags and also some of the Lolat favours. So basically items we acquired for getting first place there. 12 tags. Items acquired were also 75 Lolat favours. And I received the new title Ripper, because I basically ripped right through it. Anyway, like I said, this is the Romulan themed board. You've got different themed boards for each federation. A Klingon board, a Federation board, and of course the Romulan board here, which has the Romulan symbol on the front. The shape of the fins mimics the design language of the Dederadax warbird. And it is green. And I just realised that looks a lot like a little face. I had not noticed that before. Anyway, let's have a look at the different places where you can actually buy these on the island. One of the two places on Risia that you can buy the Powerboards is if you go to the resort, which is also where you normally come in on the transporter pad there. Come over to the Risian vendor, and this is where you'll basically collect a lot of your rewards, your costumes, pretty much everything. Keep scrolling down, and then just underneath the floaters you'll get the Powerboards. You'll get some special boards with certain themes. The most basic boards here, the green quality. The most basic boards, you've got speed rating 36, turn rating 75. So basically pretty good turning, poor speed. The next board's up, and as you can see there's different design aesthetics. The blue quality boards, the next one's up. Got 68 speed, turn rating 90. And again you've got quite a few different designs, looks, the mini boards. Then you get down to the purple quality. 73 speed, turn rating 120. These are the really big board. These are fairly big boards, though you can also get mini boards as well. The same ratings. And if you've completed the Biathlon, depending on if you've completed bronze, you are allowed to buy a bronze board. If you've managed to complete silver, i.e. you got second place, whereas bronze is third place, you get the option of purchasing either a bronze board or a silver board. They're not given to you free, you still have to spend your tokens on them, which I think is a bit low. They should be just given to you as a prize, I personally believe. But the gold Powerboard, if you get first place, they all have the same stats. Speed rating 37, turn rating 120, and yes, if you get first place gold you can purchase one of all three. And before I forget, because that's a reward for the Biathlon event, you also can get matching floaters. Bronze, silver, gold. But we'll look at those in the next video. Now, after these, you get the elite quality, and these are the ones which are themed to the different federations. I mean, organisations like Starfleet, the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Republic. This is the Klingon board. As you can see, it's got a very aggressive design. The Romulan Republic board, which you've already seen more closely. Also in this category, you've also got the Ryzen Mini Powerboard, which is also elite quality, which has the same stats as the other two boards. There is also a Federation one, but because this character isn't aligned with Federation, I can't show those to you. I'll jump onto another character now. And this is the Starfleet themed board. As you can see, it's got slightly more rounded design language than the other two. The Federation symbol, the United Federation of Planets up here. It's got a blue jet behind it. Little face in the way the engines are arranged there. And here we have the Klingon themed board, much more aggressive lines and angles, so the fins are more angular. Got this cutaway section at the front, which gives it a sort of a feel of a weapon. Klingon symbol. Red lighting, red trail behind from the jet exhaust. Same stats as the other two boards. And of course, as soon as you come onto dry land, disappears. I also have the Mini Elite Powerboard, which has the same stats as the Federation, Klingon and Romulan boards, but in this compact package. And I think that's a Klingon Targ depicted. And this board sounds very different. It's got that more sound of flames about it. Real sort of like old style jet rocket pack. Whoops. Underneath here. So basically more sort of rocket style engines. Very aggressive, jagged board. And this is the bronze board, which you get for 3rd place in the Biathlon event. So as you can see, it's got a metallic bronze finish, the Risia symbol embossed here. Basically, the silver, gold and bronze boards all have a metallic finish. At least I think they do, because I don't have the gold board, but I've got silver board as well, which I'll show you a little later. There's sort of a golden trail behind it from the engine. So, like I said, all 3 of these, or 4 if you prefer, if you include the Federation one which we just looked at, have the same stats. Hang on. Yep, 78 speed, turn rating 150. And that's basically the best boards you can get. Normally when the festivals each year they've got a new board with a new pattern. Okay, let's have a look at this one. Okay, this one's interesting. This is a rare quality. Speed rating 88, turn rating 80. Now that's interesting. So 80 is the fastest board, but they've dramatically slashed the turn rating. Well, it's still got a better turn rating than the more basic board. Well, that's interesting. Rise of Powerboard, prismatic. And they don't give us a picture of it in the description. Also interesting. Same deal with the floater. As in, they haven't given us a picture in the description. Do they give pictures of the floaters in the other descriptions? No. There is one more Powerboard, though, which you can't get here at Risia. And that's this one. Mini Powerboard, Elite, Future Flyer. And it's another speed 78, turning rate 150. And this is it. And as you can see, it's very reminiscent of the hovering skateboard you see in one of the Back to the Future movies. I think it was in Back to the Future 2. It's got a very bright purple trail to it. So you do tend to see this little board being used a lot by people. Whoop. This is quite a fun little board. Myself, personally, I'm a fan of the big boards. But that's just my personal preference. Now the way you get Anyway, now that I've finished describing the board to you, I'll better tell you how you get it. The way that you get hold of the Risia Mini Elite Future Flyer Powerboard is when the Phoenix Prize Pack event is on. If you're able to get hold of one of the very rare prize pack tokens, which are the purple quality ones, basically grab the token, click use, it'll take you to the store. Scroll down, make sure you're in the very rare section and not the rare section, or the ultra rare section. Make sure it's the very rare section, and epic is right out. Scroll down, and close to the bottom you will find your little mini powerboard. And as far as I'm aware, that's the only way to get this particular board. There is one other place where you can get powerboards on Risia, and that's at the promenade, and there they give you a little bit more information about the powerboards and their history. I think they give their history. Anyway, I finally managed to breed that particular tribbl I was after. So we'll just have a brief little tribbl interlude and then we'll get back to the powerboards. I eventually managed to breed the Risia tribbl. That's the one I was particularly after. So as you can see, he's got a little umbrella there, and basically the main thing that you want this one for is during the summer event, gives you a +5 flight speed to self and friends within 4.5 meters for 3,600 seconds. So anyway, so we'll equip him. To equip him, I'll have to detach one of the other tribbles. So I'll just get all of my other little tribbl bonuses first. So anyway, going through the tribbles one at a time. The Selene tribbl. Then we've got the Nukari tribbl. The Fleet tribbl, which you get some fleet marks from. The dilithium tribbl, which will give you 5 unrefined dilithium, as well as some other bonuses. Yeah, each of these tribbles gives you additional little stat buffs besides those particular things. But right now I'm more interested in the tokens. And of course the Molrihan tribbl, which is the new Romulus tribbl. So we'll get some Romulus fleet marks. And also, if you're a Romulan player, plasma resistance and increased plasma damage. And now, to equip the new tribbl, which we got. And might as well have a look at these other 2 tribbles while I'm at it. Oh yes, and this black alert tribbl, which basically gives you a plus to run speed. And of course, the Risen tribbl. So let's have a little look at them as well. I hope you don't mind this little tribbl interlude. Okay, the black alert tribbl.
The limited time rewards have ended. You can still seek out artifacts, but only for the standard payout.
The Grand Slam tribbl, which I think is a baseball-themed tribbl. Again, run speed bonus. It gives you a better run speed than the Black Alert tribbl, so... The Lolut tribbl gives you psychic damage resistance. And plus 0.03 health regeneration for 3,600 seconds. Plus 5 flight speed for 1.5 seconds. And I think that says Intel rating. Very interesting tribbl. And the Risen tribbl. I get plus 1% max hit points, as well as 5 flight speed to self and friends. It's got its little cocktail umbrella. But anyway, just a little tribbl interlude there. Back to Powerboards. So the other location where you can purchase Powerboards and learn more about them is at the promenade. So again, the quickest way of getting there is to hit the site-to-site transporter, click beam to promenade, or, to be more fun, go there by Powerboard. So basically just round past lighthouse here. And here's the promenade with the bridge. Anyway, and as you can see here, you've got all the powerboards on show. Can't click on them, unfortunately. Got some of the Horgon statues here as well. Anyway, so you can purchase them here as well from this lovely lady. Talk to Ryzen Powerboarder. And she will give you extra information about them. You should try some board racing around the resort. The water is pretty calm, but it's still fun. For a novice. Of course, we're not actually riding waves here, we're riding anti-gravity things underneath our board. How do powerboards work? A Ryzen Powerboard is a surfboard with a small ion engine. Stabilizers help to make it easy to use. You can only use a powerboard over water. The maneuvering foils are made for hovering over liquids. For safety's sake, all of the powerboards available here are keyed to be usable only on Risia. There is an exception to that, which I've found. If you're part of a fleet and you go to your colony world, the board will work on the big lake there. I might actually show you some footage of one of my toons rocking around there with one later. Enter the Drenua Fleet Colony Holding. And this ship, by the way, was one of the prizes during one of the Risia festivals, I think about 2-3 years ago. Can't quite remember. Beam down to colony. So here we are at a location that's not Risia, at the Drenua Colony Fleet Holding. I'm probably pronouncing that completely wrong, but anyhow. But if we come down here, head down into the harbour, and boom, we can get our powerboard out. And this is the only place that I'm aware of, other than Risia, where you can do this. And this is the silver board, which you get for second place in the Biathlon. You still have to pay for it with tokens. They don't just grant it to you for winning the event. As you can see, it's got the Ryson symbol engraved on the front, metallic silver finish, and I don't have a gold board. I've only got a silver and a bronze one, but they both have a gold jet trail behind them. But another good thing about being able to use this board here at the colony holding is you can actually put it to practical use, because there's some daily tasks that you can do here at your colony holding to complete tasks. Like you can collect various things from around the place with your classic little mini games. And basically get some of your colony tokens to help complete and build the colony. But you can go to this site here, and then once you've done that particular daily task, you can come to the water again and powerboard across to the next task. So much easier to just cross the harbour like that than to actually walk or run the whole way round. And as far as I know, this is the only place outside of Risia that you can use the powerboard, and the only practical use apart from racing that I can think of for them. Not that something fun needs to have a practical use. How do I participate in the Powerboard race? I'll call out when the race is about to start. You'll have a minute to make it to the starting gate downstairs. When you get there, just signal that you want to join the race. Once you join the race, you'll see the course buoys and line markers. These will guide you through the gates towards the finish. You don't have to stay inside the lines to stay in the race, but the line markers will help you to know which way to go. Once you reach the end of the race, you will see a flag on a buoy in the water. Grab the flag to place. Now, as regards having to stay within the lines, I've found when I go out of the lines I get disqualified for leaving the track. So this could be something that they've changed over the years. Yep, she nodded then. So once you reach the end of the race, you'll see a flag on a buoy in the water. Grab the flag to place. Stay in the water. If you can't crash and go too far inland, you'll be disqualified. Aha. Activating a floater during the race will also disqualify you. Except if it's the biathlon, and then you, like I said, you've got to make sure you get up the ramp and pass the little flag before you do so. When does the race happen? I'll call for racers to assemble at 15 minutes after the hour, and again at 38 minutes after the hour. You'll have a minute to get to the starting line and join, and the race usually takes only a few minutes. You can also find out when the race is if you go up here, up to near where the mini-map is, and they've got a little drop-down menu showing you when different events are about to begin, how long you've got till they start. And that's the basic rundown. So, now let's get boarding. Oh yes, and what she means by downstairs is over here. You've got a little staircase leading straight from the promenade to the starting point. Anyway, to get to the biathlon event, the quickest and easiest way to do that, go down here to the site-to-site transporter and beam to Stovek's camp, which is located roughly in the middle of the island by the big river. And the
hunt is ended. Try again soon.
And the biathlon event is down here. And it looks like someone else will be joining us for it. Basically, the biathlon will be conducted down the river here. Basically, it goes in the opposite direction to what the Powerboard race did. Coming down here, around here. Back up here, and then here you dismount your board and go through a series of rings with your floater round to the landing pad here. Whereas the Powerboard race, which we did, started here and just basically went round the island, through the river, and ended here. Anyway, better pay attention to what I'm doing. Join the biathlon. Grab my board. Go up to the barriers, so I'm ready for a quick start. The biathlon is more challenging than the Powerboard race. Some of the turns are a bit tighter. Also, when you dismount your board to change over to your floater, you've got to be very careful to get your timing right so you don't get disqualified.
Competitive racers, on your mark. Get set. Go!
Okay, hit the jump. turn sharply so we don't overshoot. Hit the brakes. Whoop. Thought I might lose the board there, going over the bit of dry land. Squeeze through here. Oh, don't leave the track.
Check in at the flag before equipping your floater.
Basically leave your board, run up to this, and then once you hear that little noise of confirmation you can equip your floater and then fly through these rings. Not everybody gets to complete this event because it is a bit on the challenging side and it's very easy to get disqualified. And then just like the Powerboard race, you get down here and grab the flag. And it looks like I'm the only one that was able to complete that. If there's anyone else still involved in the race, then the stage won't disappear like that. It'll stay present until everybody's made it down. But unfortunately it looks like other people either flew off the track on their boards or didn't equip properly or somehow ended up leaving the track and or getting disqualified. Yeah. Also, if my information is correct, this was the first elite Powerboard that they added to the game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, I think that's the thumbnail shot. Now that I've seen this little face in the back of the boards, I can't unsee it. Yeah. Yeah.
Competitive racers, on your mark. Get set. Go!
Ah, oh no. Whoop. That was a bit of a disaster. Quick, back on the board. Nice. I've also bound the board to the hotkey number 2 and 3. Unfortunately, it does make a bit of a noise sometimes when you equip and unequip it. But that actually does help when you want to grab the flag in a hurry, to stop you from overshooting it just as you come in, hit that jump off the board key, grab the flag. At least that's the theory. Oh, and before I mentioned how if you hit the key that you use for walking, it puts the brakes on. From memory, the game doesn't have a key set to make your character walk by default. You've actually got to go into the game settings and actually set one. Just thought I'd better mention that for completeness, and in case I've confused anyone. Okay, here we are at the Biathlon again. Now, I've never actually used this little mini board in a race before, so let's see how we go.
Competitive racers, on your mark. Get set. Go!
It's very quiet on the server today, so I'll have to come back later when there's more people on so that you can get a proper taste of what it's like to have more people involved. But this is giving us an opportunity to just have a little look at the basics of this. Whoa, that's a lot of air. Whoop, nearly went off the track then. Might as well see what it's like to go wide round here, which I've never done before. Whoop.
Check in at the flag before equipping your floater.
Turn off the board, which will normally turn itself off. Equip my floater. Yes, it's about 3:45 in the afternoon here in Australia, so probably still really quiet US time. So that could be why the server's so quiet. I don't know which server I'm on. Join the race. Okay, this is the Biathlon again.
Competitive racers, on your mark. Get set. Go! Check in at the flag before equipping your floater.
Okay, we've got one more to finish. I like to wait until everybody's finished. Doesn't seem polite to leave before then. Here they come. Yep, and that's everybody in. I think that was a good race. Okay, 2 Romulan boards and a Federation board.
Competitive racers, on your mark. Get set. Go!
Ah, damn.
Grab the flag at the end of the race.
I think I got third. Okay. And I think that's all we have time for in today's video. So, as always, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment in the comments section if you're so inclined to do so. Just remember to be nice and polite with one another. And until next time, keep surfing.